Eric Swalwell is not legally allowed to run for governor of California.
Sure he is. But considering you are the internet's resident silly goose and aggressively allergic to information, let's hear what kind of wild conspiracy theory you're following today.
Because the rules in California to be able to run for governor are that you have to be a resident of the state, like have your primary residence there for at least 5 years before you run. Therefore, he is ineligible to run for governor. There's no gray area here. There's no oh, well, we might be able to find. No, there's none of that. He is a resident of Washington, D.C. because he declared his primary residence to be Washington, D.C. on legal documents, by the way, so he could save money on taxes. See, he didn't want to pay taxes in California because the taxes he's imposed are fucking ridiculous. But sorry, Eric, now you're disqualified from running for governor. Couldn't have happened to a better person.
Oh, I see. So you just don't like the guy, so you found some wild misinformation about it and decided to run with it, huh? All right, let's break this down. First of all, Civics 101, Eric Swalwell is a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. He deals in federal law. State property taxes in California, if you have a problem with those, you want to talk to the state government, not the federal. Okay? Now, secondly, you're taking what the Trump administration is telling you as fact. And you shouldn't do that, because it never is. That is a classic silly goose move. Trump and his director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Bill Pulte, has filed a lawsuit against Eric Swalwell, claiming, just like they did with Adam Schiff and Letitia James, that he is committing mortgage fraud by having 2 primary residences listed for tax evasion purposes. To which Eric Swalwell has countersued Bill Pulte and the Trump administration. And it's interesting, older millennial, that you mentioned that Eric Swalwell declared that DC residence on legal documentation that was his primary residence. Shall we check the legal documentation, what we're referring to? I think we should. Here is what Eric Swalwell actually said on that legal documentation that you seem very concerned about. The allegation in Pulte's referral are patently false. By the way, this is the countersuit filed as official court records by Eric Swalwell's lawyers. Indeed, Representative Swalwell explicitly disclaimed any intent to occupy the District of Columbia home as his primary residence in a sworn affidavit attached to his mortgage agreement. The affidavit made clear that the home would be his wife's primary residence, not his own. Representative Swalwell was and remains a permanent resident of California. So, the very legal documentation that you were so adamant in referring to actually proves you wrong. But, like I said, big silly goose behavior. Better luck next time.